You're listening to the audio production of Ask of Old Paths, Medieval Virtues and Vices for a Whole and Holy Life by Grace Hamman. Published by Zondervan and read by the author. Foreword read by Charity Spencer. A note before we begin. Don't forget to download the accompanying enhancement PDF from your audiobook provider. It contains reference art. For Margaret, Simon, and Constance. May you walk on old paths, sure-footed in the unconditional love of Jesus.
Forward. Our God creates the world with words. Let there be light, and there was light. Sounds like magic, like a spell. The words are the things, but we no longer understand that. We are used to words being empty, carcasses, and husks. In Ask of Old Paths, Grace Hamman injects life again into the dead bones of words. She plays with the puppets of virtues and their straw men vices until they come to life in her hands. We thought we knew what love meant, but not when we apply it to internet trolls and political opponents. Hamman knows we're uncomfortable considering pride and gluttony and lust as vices. Aren't we past the reign of the Puritans? And she gets why contemporary readers may huff and snort at virtues such as meekness and chastity. But she doesn't back down or let contemporary readers remain where they are. If they read Ask of Old Paths, they will accompany its author up a winding road that might feel a lot like the trail up Mount Purgatory on the return to Eden. We enter a medieval world with this Virgil, who never claims to be a virtuous paragon herself. And in fact, she confesses her own inadequacies in a way that becomes a model. The same mirror Hamman keeps jutting in front of our squinting faces is the one she holds up before herself. Books on virtue are in vogue right now. Apparently, they were in the 14th century, too. There exists so many books and treatises of vices and virtues that any man will meet the end of his short life before he could study and read them all. If people are writing books on virtues and vices, could it be the Holy Spirit telling us that this is the medicine our sick culture requires? Ask of Old Paths is a strong balm for our ailment. Hamman opens the book with a meditation on the meaning of the virtues and vices, the words themselves, as well as of wholeness. How are we to heal without diagnosing rightly the sickness? And how are we to become well if we've forgotten what health looks like? For centuries, healthy meant wholeness, and holy and hallow, and you have to read the book to follow all the paths of these words Hamman vivifies. We all desire wholeness, but sometimes it feels like a far-off dream or a faint memory. The soul doctors in this book are not familiar with 21st century maladies, but the human heart has not changed since its creation. Their wisdom, then, is somehow more apt than the pseudo-cures of our present day. St. Thomas Aquinas, Bonaventure, Julian of Norwich, and medieval writers who are either anonymous or well-known only to scholars like Hamman speak from centuries before us into our time and place, and we do well to listen, to heed their knowledge of the virtues and vices, that we might receive right remedy for our pains. It's within this community of dead souls that we learn virtue is communal, not individualistic. From St. Catherine of Siena, we hear neighbors compared to a birth canal, spoiler alert, by which our virtuous character may be born, and that virtues are not merely rules to be followed, but habits to adopt and practices to live by. Hamman opens up abstract words like temperance and avarice and meekness to show us how we could be gluttonous for words, or those who cannot order our loves well, or how meek could be powerful. She sits at the feet of Alasdair MacIntyre to explain his analogy that learning virtue is more akin to a child learning chess. You soon love the game for itself when you play it well. The journey Hamman guides us through is a wandering one, but we are not alone. In a culture where badness is uplifted,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?